Hey, everyone. John Crestani here. And, the question was, can AI actually do affiliate marketing? And not in theory, like right now, with AI, with real money. I generally don't know. But I created some software, and I'm going to be the first user of this software. And we're going to stress test it together. I worked with AI to create the software, and we're going to see how it works. This is going to be a multi-billion-dollar company. We're going to sell it to one of the major AI companies or government contractors in a 5-year time span. So let's get into Bonfire Terminal and let's look at what we're going to do here today. And guys, feel free to post questions or chats, or whatever. This is interactive. This is live. So, and let me know. First off, everyone, where are you coming from in the world? Where are you coming from in the world? Post in the chat, and we'll get into it. Let me share my screen, and boom. So here we are with, and let me make sure my screen's showing. There we are. And so here we are on Bonfire Terminal, right? And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be, so I wanted to kind of leave this a little bit open-ended, but what we're going to do is we're going to do SEO. We're going to be promoting my Claude Code link. Now, what Claude Code is required, or some AI, whether you're using Grok, Gemini, Codex, Claude Code, is required to work with Bonfire Terminal. And so I'm going to be setting up promotions for my affiliate link, and you only get your affiliate link if you are a user of Claude Code, which is how we're running everything. You're going to see Claude Code through Bonfire Terminal posting ads, setting up websites. We're going to be doing all the marketing work through here. And I'm going to be promoting this. Now, in order to promote my affiliate link for this, the first idea I have, which I did a little prep work before starting this, is we're going to create a comparison website for the top AI softwares. We see this a lot on Google. So I'm going to create a comparison site, but I'm going to be comparing all the different AIs because the honest truth is, comparison sites work best in fragmented markets where people don't know what the hell they're doing and they don't know they have no idea what they're choosing. And people have no clue what to choose when it comes to AI tools. Perplexity, Grok, Gemini, Claude, Codex. People don't even know how to use these tools, frankly, which is pathetic. I've been on some recent webinars with business owners, and nobody has any clue. So we're going to create a site like this, and what I did was I put together some prompts. So we're going to do 4 different prompts with Bonfire Terminal to set things up. Now, what part of the workflow, the AI marketing workflow, is I actually think more time should be spent on doing the prep work for prompts. I'm not completely sure, but we're just going to try stuff out. So the first prompt is the copy prompt. We're going to have it copy a site. The next one is the basic FIR prompt. The next one is the detailed plan prompt. We're going to have it do a detailed implementation plan, right? And then we're going to do the expert inclusion prompt, where we're going to actually include an expert from Bonfire, one of the preloaded experts in Bonfire Terminal, which is like this, right? It's trading up the chain, grassroots movement. Now, what I'm particularly concerned about as we go about this plan and create a website, or we're going to create 4 websites here, is I'm looking for, I want images. I want good images. AI's been difficult with getting images online. So I really want to make sure we get, these logos, kind of this transparent logos going on. But most importantly, I want to make sure we get the sites up. And if we're going to do this in roughly an hour. I'm going to, we're going to spend 40 to 45 minutes doing this work and seeing where we can get to. And then we're going to do a bit of a, just a briefing at the end to see how it worked out. So without further ado, let's boot up Bonfire Terminal. And Bonfire Terminal is available. You can apply to it well, I haven't updated the links yet, but it's in beta right now, but you can apply to work with my team and get a Bonfire Terminal beta once you are in the AI Marketers Club. There's links in, and this is the AI Marketers Club here. There's links in the chat. And here's where Bonfire Terminal is. As you see, it's a downloadable file. So it's actually software. So let's get into it without further ado, and let's actually open up Bonfire Terminal. Okay. So first off, let me start a new terminal session here. Okay. So here we are, and as you see, it's command line interface. It's really basic right now, but we want to go into our folder. So we're going to tell it to go into our working folder, which is this. Okay, and we have all of our MCPs set up in here. So this is just our working folder. Okay, and I am going to paste this in. I'm going to open up Claude. And I'm going to post in my first prompt. Okay. Well, first I'm going to check my MCPs. I want to make sure my MCPs are connected. There we go. Look at that. I'm facing the other way. I want to make sure my MCPs are connected so that I can upload to FTP. So FTP, as we see, my AI has FTP. It has the tools to upload files, download files, and work with whatever I want. This is great, right? I can reconnect, and just check, and it's all reconnected. Great. Okay, what other MCPs am I going to have to work with for this project? You know what? Pexels, great. Let's view the tools here. We can get photos from Pexels. So this is another API I use, and as we see, we can get videos, we can get photos. I'm on the free plan, so I can get photos, but I'm not sure if they'll be useful. So we did our environment check. We're all good to run, and now we're going to boot it up. Okay. We're going to open up another tab. And we're going to change the directory to demo2. And we're going to boot up Claude. We're going to change the directory to demo. We're going to have another one. And we're going to boot up another instance of Claude. And we're going to boot up another one. I have 4 folders, 4 different projects. And we're going to boot up Claude. Okay, yes, I trust this folder. So one thing that we see with the Bonfire Terminal UI is we have multiple tabs going here. Use this MCP server. We have some permission settings. I don't like all the permission settings. And we are going to we're going to put in all of our prompts. So what we're doing is what I found is that AI is super faulty. And it doesn't get things right a lot. So, oh, oopsies. Demo 2. What you are programming. Oopsies. Basic for prompt. Then we will do this one. And then we will do this one. AI take the wheel, right? So that's what we say. AI take the wheel, because that's what AI is going to do. But we need to give it the wheel, and we can't give it the wheel if you're chatting with it like on a browser. You're going to be replaced. So we have our projects going on here. We have a couple different things. Now, one thing that I'm still seeing a lot from the terminal is a lot of permission settings. I know there's a YOLO mode, but you know, I focused on marketing. So we're getting permissions. Yes, it wants to search. It wants to look at the website. Yeah, so I'm just going to say number 2, don't ask again. It's working. It's working. It's working. Now we can see how long it's been working for, and it's reading our files, which is good. I like to check kind of how, okay, it's learning about the product, Bonfire Terminal. Is it reading our website? Okay, look, it's creating a folder right now. Okay, good. I'll create the context. And let's see where we go. Now, one thing I'm going to prep is I'm going to prep a question. Let's prep. Ask me multiple rounds. Ask me 3 rounds of questions using the ask user question multiple choice. Now the reason I'm setting up this command right here is because I don't know what I don't know. Yeah. I am not an SEO expert. You know, I'm not a programmer. I don't know what I don't know. So I'm gonna make, but this kind of is a safeguard against that. So I'm just gonna prep this, copy it. Okay, we see all of the things are working. We have one. We have one. And, oh, and I just want to show you folks, none of these sites are created so far. Okay. Look, some of these directories have been created, but none of these sites are created so far. I just want to show you. From all these prompts I used, right? These are all the websites I've told it to create. I've told it to create because I wanted to actually have, I told it where to post the website because I didn't want it to make up that information. There's certain information you don't want it to make up. So we see this has already created a directory. So just want to show you that so you guys don't think I'm famoosing you here. You know, this is pretty crazy stuff. We're talking to AI, and it's gonna post us websites and download images and all that stuff. Let's see this. Upstate SC, South Carolina, Hot House, Vonovio. What's up, B Weeberg? Weeberg, you're a moderator. You're a managing moderator. Good to see you, man. You're a beast. Wolf Warrior, good to see you as always. Jenny from Miami in the flow. Good to see you. Let's keep going here. Okay. Okay, let's say. Upload the website. Okay. The website doesn't look like it's there. Let's see. This plan provides an implementation roadmap. Okay. Now, it's saying it has a website for me. This one didn't work. No, it's not there. New private window. Maybe it's my cache. Nope. Nope, it's not there. Okay. Let's see what's going on with the next one. Okay, so it did open up the browser. So it opened up the browser to actually see what's going on. I'm working on a couple different screens here, folks. I got a couple extra screens I'm not running. We're in my zone. Okay, so let's see this. So now one thing I like to do with AI is I actually read through their results here. So we're going to read through what this plan is, because I want to actually make sure this isn't slop. Okay. So we have a very big plan here. It's too much for the screen to even hold. Create a visual, create an easy to read visually engaging version of this plan, then open it in my browser. Okay, so I'm going to have it actually give me the plan in a different format just so I can assess it. What I'm seeing here, it's picking up on the branding. It's picking up on, okay, it's got the links to the other things. Content structure, 9 out of 10. It's got a ranking methodology. SEO features, optimized title tag, SEO. Okay. I'm going to say okay. Expand on the now what I'll do is I'll ask it, what is the length of content that will be written? Have the logos for each of the companies been downloaded, resized, normalized? How much content? What other images will be featured on the page? Down. I need to review all images that will be used first on my local computer before I approve the plan. All copy or the site needs to be written and deep research into other AI software comparison reviews needs to be done. I don't want this. I want this web page to be uniquely informative to marketers considering using Terminal AI to do marketing. And site design. Etc. So so I wrote a bit, but again, notice I'm still writing in sort of natural human tone, right? Which is nice. I'm going to see where this goes. This is our, but note, and we're just going to say, okay. So it's creating the page already. This one is just one-shotting it. So let's see. And what we're going to do is we're going to say, yes, allow all edits during this session, because AI take the wheel, right? We don't want to stop it. Should logos link to an assets or image folder structure? Cool. So it's asking. So again, I could just be like, go, 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 but I'm stopping a little bit because I want it. I've done that in the past. So the logos haven't been downloaded. Product screenshots, hero shot, image, research phase, analyze, top ranking AI comparison pages, structure, word count angles, document each tool's structure, find differentiators for marketers specifically. I like where it's going with this. Image assets for local review, 5 company logos normalized, 200 by 200. That's great. No, I don't. Build tools to download source images logos must have transparent backgrounds. Use relevant Python node scripts. Now, the reason I'm telling it to use relevant Python node scripts is because it just takes AI to a whole other level. It allows it to do stuff that browser AI just absolutely can't do. Node, N8N, Zapier. If you guys are, I use those tools for some things, but it's not for AI. Use relevant node Python scripts. Redundancy of images is important in the planning phase. Okay, now what I'm going to do is and you guys can't really see what's going on here. So I'm typing in the terminal here. I'm going to right now there isn't a way to shift lines, so I don't like that. But I'm putting a pound sign there. We're going to do 2. Should I link to an assets? Whatever works. Whatever works best. And then we'll say, what's our target keyword? I'd say, what's our target keyword? So I did a little pre-prep of what our keywords are for AI. I just say best AI for marketing. Okay. Best AI for business. Say best AI for marketing. Best AI for marketing. And then we'll say, do you want me to research competitors first and present findings before writing? Yes. Research competitors first and make sure to download relevant logos for use from purpose. Okay, now what I didn't like is that it asked me questions and it actually made me type out responses. Okay, I think this can be improved. And so now we're in things. So let's see what's going on. We have all of our projects are waiting on us now. Okay. Upload the site. So we have one page done. It's asking to do research. I'm going to tell it yes. Implementation plan, yes. And we have our first site up. What the hell? Oh, this is our plan. Oh, look at this. So this is the website. This is the this is a website it created just to show me the plan. Look at this. Ah. What is this? Demo 2. The detailed plan prompt is winning. Well, I like it so far, but we'll see. We'll see. So far, I'm very, very much a fan of the detailed plan prompt. This is a great... Now this is what I love about AI. AI's freaking insane. Look at it. I asked it to create me one page. It's creating me individual... It wants to create individual review pages for Claude Code, Codex, Gemini, Grok, Perplexity. Let's go, right? That's more juice. And there's not many, and I looked at these keywords a little bit beforehand, right? Like just this morning. Not, there's a lot of opportunity here. So it wants to create CSS. Guys, it's doing web development for us. Look at this. And it's doing it in an organized fashion. Images, logo, raw downloaded logos, optimized, favicons. Favicons. This is great. OG images, social sharing images, screenshots, image processor, logo fetcher. So here it is. What it's telling me is it's saying, I am going to build my own tools to optimize your images. Source your logos, optimize them, and make sure they are a consistent, size or whatever to fit on your site. Okay, so far I like the plan. Okay, it's giving us an image sourcing strategy. It's going to look at that. It's got the primary colors. It's got official sources. It's got fallbacks. It's created me image processing scripts. Output sizes generated. We'll see if it does this, right? Folks, the images are one of the images and videos are so hard to work with. I'd say they take up, that's the most time in anything marketing. Facebook ads is easy, but you need good creative, right? We all know that, or maybe you guys don't. But filterable comparison table. I really like this, guys. Schema structured data. So here it's giving me its plan. Guys, this already, first off, this is way more powerful than using any browser AI. And this is crazy. Okay, do you guys see this? Okay, so we're going to say yes. Like whatever this is, AI, take the freaking wheel. Okay, so Claude Code ranked. Okay. I'm not seeing it. Saying the site's up. Let me open up a new window. Okay, so we do have, okay, here's the problem. Okay, so it created our first page. Okay, folks, we have our first page up. This is unreadable. It got the structure of the site right, as you see. The site, it's following somewhat of the style guidelines. Claude Code, editor's choice, no images, no images. But I'd say it's a workable site. Okay. Okay, now what we're going to tell it is we're going to work with it. This and now, one thing I do notice, folks, I just typed in BG, right? AI is based on association, so it picks up on this stuff. It's fine. Figure out a way to source and place the logos for each of the AI companies on the page. Okay. Okay, so we have our first page up, guys. I'll send you this page, right? We just created this with AI. We had 30 minutes so far. I need some reactions for that, folks. Come on, you guys are better than this. Come on, guys. We need to get some reactions. This is insane. Okay, so we're doing things that we've never been able to do before with AI. And we're just getting started. This is just one of our pages. We're going to advertise these in the next session. So guys, make sure you are subscribed. You enabled all notifications. Nobody's this far ahead in AI. Everybody else in this space, I'm not, these gurus, right? They're talkers. They're not actually working with all these new tools. What happened is there's a whole breed of marketers that kind of came up in, we're just going to kind of YOLO at this point. And a lot of people got lazy. People using whiteboards, they're not doing work anymore. They're just resting. I don't rest. I don't stop. Because, and it's funny, we teach people to make money, but the goal isn't money. It's just self-actualization. People are like, why, when you have $100,000, do you still work, or $1 million, do you still work, or $10 million, do you still work, or $100 million, do you still work, or $1 billion, do you still work? If you're asking why do you still work, you're going to get replaced by AI, because AI favors people who are good, skilled, hard workers. It isn't a freaking lottery. It's not a lottery. It's not like, oh, I made money. People who make money because they're focused on the process. They're playing the game. It's a game. You play it. You stay in it. You never stop. Love of the game. Okay, let's see our next page. We got our next page up, folks. This is dog. This is dog. This is absolute dog. I hate the background. You know what? They have some good comparison charts. Full project I mean, okay. Comparison charts. They should have green ticks and red X's, right? So what I'm telling it is I'm just telling it kind of hone in on certain of these things. Okay, so let's actually. Now, the other thing I don't like is you have to highlight and right click in Bonfire Terminal to actually use it, right? So what are we doing here? We have plan number 2. Sorry, I need to keep this a little better organized. Okay, so we have this. So prompt 1, we have result. Oh, wait. Best overall. Okay, so this is. I like the UI on this. Let's preview this on mobile. This landing page will probably work. As long as we change that text around, okay? And then we have number 2 here. Okay. Approve. Proceed. So here we'll do something a little bit different. I'm just going to mix things up a little bit here on this implement. I really like this plan, but I'm gonna go back into plan mode. Notice how I just shifted to plan mode. So there's 2 different modes. There's plan mode and then there's edit mode. We're going to go into plan mode for here because I want it to really focus and hone in on the making this as great as possible. So I'm going to go into plan mode and I'm going to do one of my prompts I like, which is right here. Okay. Copy. And we will ask me 3 rounds question. One question per round. Oh, we'll do 2 questions per round. Okay. So this one is still working. We still have 3 working. Then we have red axis. Let's check our websites. We already saw that one. Nope. Nope. So we have 2 websites up. Okay. Now we're almost coming up on time, and we're going to let our projects continue to marinate. I'd say we have 8 more minutes. I'm going to put the timer on for 8 more minutes. And we'll get this done. Okay, so this is how I like, so this is how we're building, AI. I'm actually working with some real developers. Well, I'm possibly partnering with a developer to do this, to take this to the next level, right? It would be nice to have a $1 billion company totally myself, but we're gonna have it work with generating. I like it asking questions, right? Where will this? So I'm going to switch off this screen. Now, what I use, we have an MCP set up and we have the credentials in here, but I'm going to switch off this screen while, because I don't want to expose my credentials while it's thinking. And this is one of the difficult things about demos here, but I kind of am overcoming it with the multiple screens. But the other reason I'm doing multiple different tabs here is because AI works better that way. I found we get better results with trying out a project 4 different ways and then taking pieces of each project or prompt and bringing them together. So here we have it doing some crazy stuff. It's been opening up websites on my screen. What are you doing, dude? Clean white, light gray, dark. So here it's asking us questions. Again, this is how I believe the future of marketing is done. Okay, it's connected to all of your, all of your company's softwares, products, MCPs, warehousing, CRM, product management, SKU everything. And then whenever you want to market somewhere, you say Facebook ads or this, you just answer a couple of AI's questions. Bonfire and Claude logos. What is this? What page is this for? Submit. So here's what's interesting. We can kind of see what it's been thinking about. So I'm just going to review this. Let me check if logo images are loading properly. It's getting an error. External images might be getting blocked. Folks, if you think terminal AI gets errors like this, browser AI is a complete freaking idiot compared to terminal AI. Right. So this is, if these issues happen on terminal AI, it's happening even worse on browser AI. UX Wing is blocking hot linking. There's a lot of movement in the space, right? So we're going to have to SVG logos instead. So it's having problems getting all of these icons, which is very interesting. But different approach, and these approaches keep shifting. How should the comparison data be managed? What level of interactivity do we need on the page? Let's do Markdown and front matter. It's easy to work with. What level of interactivity do we need on the page? Full interactive. Let's just do full. AI take the wheel. AI take the wheel. Okay. And I'd say we have 2 more minutes to go. We have the logos. Okay, so it looks like it hasn't uploaded the site. And we will There we go. Okay, folks, we are almost at time. And I will answer some questions in a second. We're just going to YOLO it. Yes, do everything. We got a page, So this page is fine. I'm going to, I think it's just a caching issue right now, but I'm just going to change up this, this line. And I will, this will be usable to promote Claude Code. It's a very hot area right now. And also we have SEO going for it with, the rankings, all the keywords. So I'm going to start advertising this in the next session. Let me see some questions, and let me see. And I'm going to put up all the results in here. Okay. We have 1, AI software rankings. We have our second site. which has not been deployed yet. Let's see. Not yet. And we have another site. Great. Okay, that's it. Folks, that was, there we go. Going back to the chat, just seeing where everyone is at. I don't even know if anybody's watching. Let me see. Cool. We have a couple people here. I'd like to hitch a ride on your spaceship someday. That'll be cool. I'm excited, Hot House. Good job. You've really sparked my interest in working with Terminal AI. Yes, it's absolutely a game changer. People don't understand this yet. Social media, they don't want me here. They, you know, I'm an oddity. I shouldn't even be alive. And you know, they aren't gonna push my posts. I don't play the game. I don't play their game that well. You know, I'm not consistent and all this stuff, but it doesn't matter because I see what they're doing. Now the briefing, I'm gonna go, let me go over the cool. Processing. So what I think went well with that session was I think it actually, you know, it created a web page for me in less than 30 minutes with logos, with my affiliate link. It uploaded the site, and it did it all on brand. Okay. Now, I didn't read through the copy that much, but again, we don't have enough time to read through the copy. All right, we did this very fast in 30 minutes. I'd say what surprises me is how difficult AI has with working with images or finding them, downloading them. And what also, I guess this doesn't really surprise me, but is there's a lot of there's a whole digital war going on behind the scenes with these AI companies kind of keeping certain people in or certain people out, and you know, limiting reach, and they're out to kill marketers. If you're working on the browser, you're done. They want literally what the status quo is being kept frozen. They're freezing the status quo. That's what's happening in society, if you haven't noticed. And all of the little guys, the little landlords, and when I say little landlords, I'm talking about guys that have under $100 million in holdings. That's a little guy, okay? That is a little guy in real estate game. You might, you know, some of my followers are like broke or homeless, so, you know, I don't know what y'all think are, you know, little guys in these, you know, but the game's a really big game. And they're killing the little marketers and all this stuff. It's optimizing around companies that have at least 10 people and 2 developers on full-time payroll with a company email address. That is where that is the first place AI is moving. Companies need to be 10 people, 2 developers stuff. Why do I say this? It has to do with Facebook's 4 Eyes policy. Look up 4 Eyes policy on Facebook if you want to understand. But that's where we're going. all what's happening on the browser is going to be sucked in to the terminal AI and used as tools for terminal AI. We are seeing all of the benefits of AI and none of the confusion by working with it through the terminal. Whereas I see other marketers just confused, scrambling, not knowing where things are going, trying new tools and then breaking, and trying new tools, breaking, creating softwares and then them breaking because of a new change, compliance issues, this, that, API issues. Everything's moving to be done by APIs. The companies, when I say the status quo is being frozen, what else do I mean? I mean venture-backed software companies that have good APIs win. And the companies with the best APIs are all venture or mostly venture backed. The APIs, right? We talk about creating a world brain, a fully connected world, right? It's these softwares talking to each other. It's every company has its own specific software. And when you join the AI Marketers Club, which there's links in the chat. By the way, you guys should get Claude Code. If you haven't gotten Claude Code right now, get it. Get it. There's a link in the description. Get Claude Code. But in the AI Marketers Club, we're working with AI the real way, the right way, where every week advancements happen that improve our ability to use AI easier, faster, more seamlessly. The internet hates me. They don't want to market me. They don't like me putting up my own ads or stuff like that. It's really annoying, but that's why we're doing SEO. Yeah, that's about it, folks. Great seeing everyone here. Any questions in the chat? Sorry, I haven't really looked in the chat. I'm working on getting MCPs connected. Any recommendations? Yeah, Jenny. So, Jenny, here, I'll show you. Let me bring on screen. Oopsies. Okay. So Jenny, in the course area, where you'll want to go is Bonfire Terminal. I'll view this as a student. Let's see. I think it's under the download area. Oh, let me find where it is. So let's... So Jenny, where you'll want to go is in the installation instructions area. We have a couple different lessons that go over in the Bonfire Terminal training section. We have MCPs for Facebook ads, for Circle, for OpenAI, and for a bunch of others, for Pexels, etc. What you will now there's MCPs. You know, you can Google search these, Jenny. But there's, oopsies. You can Google search these, Jenny, but there's pre-built MCPs out there as well on GitHub. What I just go in the download area and find, you know, go in the installation instruction area and go in the Bonfire Terminal training section. Okay. So the installation is the hardest part. And the installation is, one thing we're going to be doing is, we're going to be charging an unbelievable amount of money just to show people how to install and start working with this stuff because it's so non-intuitive. What I've found is I can yell at people, I can shake people, people can respect, people who respect me, I can tell them, people who have followed me for years, I can tell them, get Claude Code, you know, work with AI through the terminal. They won't do it. It's so scary. The digital bits and bytes and not know what we're doing. And big consulting companies like Scale.ai, but there's a bunch of these. The new breed of AI consulting companies, they're charging hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars to do the same things the same workflow that I'm showing, which is crazy. But people are figuring this out. The world is moving towards this. Marketers are being rendered obsolete through very nefarious means. I could go deeply into it, but I'm just letting everyone here know. If you are reliant on the browser AI, if you do not know how to access keys and credentials, and you don't know how to work with AI, give AI the wheel with, feeding it information such as this, right? I don't need to do Facebook ads. I can have my AI do Facebook ads if I just give it a certain few key pieces of information. But what folks don't understand is how AI can compound this knowledge. When you connect Facebook ads to your inventory, your Shopify store, product management, you should connect it to your messages, your email account that you get customer support calls from or emails from. You connect it to your sales CRM and have it download and analyze sales transcripts. You start connecting these things together, and AI can deal with it. AI can keep it all roughly in mind in a way that a human being cannot. And it is more powerful. I consider myself the best marketer in the world, or one of the best marketers in the world, right? But tactically, I think I'm pretty good at this stuff. I'm pretty capable of working in any niche. People don't understand it either because they say, no, you have to be specialized marketer. No, you have to know marketing. It's a skill. People look for these special, I don't believe that. I think marketing, if you're good at marketing, you could do it for any niche. And AI is just better, right? So AI is better, right? I'm saying marketing is dead, and all the jobs are going away. The companies that win, it's the status quo, folks. It's the status quo. How do I get back here? Let's see. Any other questions? Hopefully that helps, Jenny. It's in there though. And that Facebook ads MCP is really sick. We could set up an ad. Who here is there anybody? Let me see if anybody's watching. We could set up ads for a second. I could show you guys how quickly we can set up ads. Folks, I'm going to shill. Hold on, I'm going to shill. Folks, get Claude Code. Okay, 1 free week of Claude Code. Get it now. And let's see this. We have order Claude Code stickers. Look at that. Let's see. Okay. This. Let's open up this. So here's the other website it created for us. This is nice. It put a little pop, Claude Code offers. Oh, this is nice. Right, so there's some interesting elements in each of these different websites it's created. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be promoting. I think this one's the simplest. Should we create Facebook ads for it, guys? Come on, who's with me? Okay, well, I'm going. Okay, where's top 5 AI? Let's go. Let's just set up a Facebook ads. Set up a new Facebook ads campaign to the Claude review page. Ask one question for clarification. Then launch the ads. 20 a day budget. Okay, so we're gonna launch, folks. Okay, we're gonna go. AI take the wheel. Okay, folks. So we're launching Facebook ads. We're just going. We're going. I'm you know what? We're gonna make sure this happens. Marketing technologists. We're gonna go. One question. Compact. So this is the other thing of working with AI is that we have to compact our conversations. What we have with AI is a 200. This might sound a little odd, but we have a 200 kilobyte or token limit. We have a fixed limit with context. And if you guys want to learn about context engineering, I highly suggest you follow Indie Dev Dan on YouTube. Okay. This guy right here is far ahead of anyone in understanding how to work with AI. He's just not a very good marketer. But he's doing the thing. He's consistent and all that stuff. Now, where is Elite Context Engineering? This video is amazing. Now, I'm going to be he's trying to kind of set himself up to use all AI, right? He's showing his hands, so he's going to eventually like voice over and use AI. But he's doing really good with some of these like video elements and stuff, right? I'm not having these edited. I don't really care about the viewers anymore. For me, it's if I reach one person, if I get one person to make the transition from being confused in browser AI to working with terminal AI, I would have changed somebody's life. Is the reality. Every person I get to use terminal AI, I've changed their life forever. And there's nobody there's no marketers telling people to do this. I mean, you're obsolete if you don't use Terminal AI, and you just don't understand it yet because you know, and some folks might be saying, oh, but a browser AI, it does all these things and it still works. Yeah, but they're harvesting your brain right now. What's happening, folks, is they're harvesting brains. Okay, and they're harvesting brains to figure out how you work digitally, how weak, unpassionate, unskilled people work, right? Just people trying to do the next big thing, but they don't really have self-respect for themselves to always give it their best shot. And AI is harvesting that information, and they're just going to replicate anything in the marketing workflow. Now, this is good news for marketers who make the transition, because there's a lot of bull that we don't have to do. There's tool bloat. There's too many logins. There's too many hackings and unsecure pieces of information. You know, there's a lot of fundamental issues, folks, that people don't really talk about. This is just the way it's going. It's already been preordained. They just haven't told us yet. Okay? They've already figured out. And the status quo, the big tech companies all keep making money with less and there's going to be less people working. That is the transition, right? It's not in the people's favor. This is a transition against the people. But it's so deep, and it's so nefarious, and it's so confusing. It's just very hard for many people to understand. I think I'm one of the only people who understands this. So I'll share this video in the chat, and let's see where our Facebook ads are. Facebook ads campaign, marketers and agencies. So we have things working. Okay. Let's look at meta ads. Okay. Any new campaigns? Okay, let's find if we've got these campaigns up. So when we started Facebook ads a few minutes ago. Let's see how fast last time I did this with AI, it launched the ads in like what was it, 30 minutes? Or sorry, 1 hour was 30 minutes or 1 hour was my best time so far. Any other questions? Will you keep the live stream on YouTube? I missed the first parts because of time zone. Yes, I will keep the live stream on YouTube. What other questions? Who else here is excited about Terminal AI? All right. Who else here is excited about working with Terminal AI? Or who else is going to work with Terminal AI? Okay, so we have, so here's our web page. Interesting. This is our Claude Code review web page. Look at that. Look, it created like an article for this. This is great. Great. Okay. So it said it launched our Facebook campaign. You know what? Okay. So here so what I like to do is I'm looking at, I want to see what it's actually doing. It's uploading. It says it uploaded an image. Got an invalid parameter. Photos. So these other folders are using an old version of the MCP I set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into demo 1, right? See, I'm going to go into demo 1, MCP. I'm going to copy this MCP, and I'm going to move this over to my other 2 projects. Oh, I've already, wait. It's already in here. Thought that was the problem. Oh. Well, I've launched ads with this MCP before, so I'm not sure why it's having issues. But as one thing you'll see is that these you know, it's creating all sorts of, oh look, here's some of our other pages it created. Let's see. The ad is live. So it says our campaign has been launched. Ah, folks, look at that. What was my time? What was my time? Like 15 minutes to launch a campaign? Let's check it out. AI coding rankings. Okay, so here's another problem, right? We're having, okay, there we go. The UI needs to be improved a lot on this. Let's look at meta ads. Where's the campaign? Claude Code. Oh, look at that. Here's our developers. Look at that, folks. That's a good affiliate ad. There we go. There we go. There we go. And here, I'll share this with y'all. We are live on Facebook. Woo! That's great. I'm going to send this to y'all. Where are you? Where are you guys? That's a win. That is a win. That is a win. So let's go over this again. Let's go over this again, folks. We are nothing I did. Not well, maybe there are certain things that, but anybody could do what I did. Anybody can do what I just did. Launching ads, pages, websites, everything. Without actually writing the copy, downloading the images, resizing the images, making a transparent background in Canva, going into our file manager, working with a web developer or a contractor, paying for, ClickFunnels or, website, some sort of web building software, paying for Shopify or all this stuff, right? Everything we just did there was with a web hosting subscription and AI, okay? That's it. Those are the only things that needed to be paid for. Your world is unlocked if you are working on Terminal AI. Your world is confusing tool bloat. Getting hacked by, making no money if you're using browser AI. I'm sure this is the way to go. We did this so fast. And let's see. I like that ad. I think we're gonna crush. But then again, we're launching ads. We're launching multiple ads. We're launching. Yeah, this is just great. So we're launching multiple landing pages, and we're going to follow up on this to see where we go. Let's actually follow up to see where our affiliate link is right now. Okay. And which was our campaign that... Okay, so I'll say... Let me see. Discount. And I'm just going to look to see if we have any more passes to give out. It looks like, folks, it looks like all the passes for the coupon were given out. Huh. It's not showing up anymore. It looks like we can order some stickers. Haha. That's great. Okay, folks. Well, we are live. I'm going to kind of end it there. I'll go into the comments real quickly. Where's my comments? Wow, just amazing. You rock. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, everyone that was on. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. I intend to be doing a lot more live streams, just showing as the first user of Bonfire. What I've been, to give you guys a little kind of personalness and history, and I'm going to turn the lights on, and I just hate this big thing. So to give you guys a little background into what's going on is I went down the rabbit hole with AI, and last year I started selling an educational course, teaching people AI, which is, a lot of the stuff in the AI Marketers Club and all this jazz, the AI marketing system. And the insights were, I had found some very good insights just about the way AI works, how it kind of works like a spreading graph, specialist language, using highly specialized expert language, prompting it with plans rather than, just trying to one shot it, giving really specific context. I want the website posted here. Here's my FTP credentials, or this or that, or, this is my brand colors, hexadecimals, here's my fonts, right? Giving it very specific information, I was seeing made it more powerful. But I didn't actually have what I'd consider that future insight into where is the market actually going. And it wasn't until I started experimenting around with Claude Code, after a few months of being pushed to by one of my AI mentors, right? And when I learn a skill, right, I find the best people. I fly them out. I pay them $10,000 to meet with me for a day. That's the type of stuff. As you see, I'm not wearing Louis Vuitton or all that stuff. I do that. I used to, like, when I started making a ton of money, I used to, I'd buy, anything, because I wanted to prove myself to the world that I arrived, and, I could afford these sorts of things, but that's not really who I am. I'm in it for the game. And after I started working with Claude Code, I realized not just is this changing marketing, but AI is specifically built to kill marketing and just kind of middle administrative work in companies, working with software programs in general. When I started discovering MCPs, going beyond that, education is dead. Selling training courses, right? Like, I'm selling a training course. It's silly, I'm selling it at $27, and everyone can make, that's our front end, that's what people are buying, $27 to $597. Affiliates, if you're an affiliate for AI Marketers Club, you get 100% of, 90% of that through Digistore, and I have some links in the description. But education, as a scalable business model, I think it's dead, right? And you're not going to build a business like Tai Lopez built a business that was $50 million a year, right? That's about the height you can go with selling information online. Grant Cardone has arguably built a bigger business, but he's built a bigger business, but he's selling real estate, right? He moved from selling information to selling real estate and custom consulting and all this stuff. I don't think selling educational courses is the thing anymore, but I still think that my tenacity, my joie de vivre for making money on the internet, right? Because this is the one true place, there's only two ways you're gonna, there's two honest ways to make a lot of money remote anywhere in the world that's accessible to anyone. It's affiliate marketing and it's trading stocks, right? Trading stocks is a difficult thing. So you have these two ways of doing it. And you gotta figure it out. I've just always kind of optimized around that. I find a lot of my audience, they kind of jump, they don't have that identity of like, I need to make money from the internet, remotely, anonymously, etc. Right? That was how I got started. I was like, I need to do this just pure digital money. A lot of my students don't make a decision of what business they want to go into. They just kind of flow with what they feel, somebody's excited about at the time, or what's hot or whatever. But the future of working with these AI programs and all that stuff, it's going deep, right? It's not kind of keeping your ear out, figuring out what business is hot. It's going deep. It's getting an insight and going deep and building, you know, building website, building, connecting more. So you create a connected thing to all these to your AI, connect your CRM, connect your email service provider, connect your support desk, connect your SMS, Twilio, SendGrid, connect meta ads, and let it start talking to itself and optimize things. I haven't gotten things to the point. I've just been launching ads with Facebook, but I have a supposition that I could train my AI to self-optimize my Facebook ads more intelligently than Facebook tries to, because Facebook sucks with copy and angles and images and all that stuff. So I believe we'll be able to do something there very soon, but what I'm focused on personally is I'm focused on marketing the hell out of this, getting affiliates, posting ads, and using it. And the reason why I need to be using it and live streaming like this is because you don't know how many people I've told or shown in person, face to face, whatever, demos, showed people, they say, I don't believe you can actually post Facebook ads. There must be more. You can't just create a website that quick. Shouldn't it be slop? And my whole thing is, it has to be better than human quality. We have to optimize around better than human quality. And that's been my goal, right? Because I do believe marketing is a skill. Unfortunately, it's going to be killed, and skill can be easy. It's a digital, it can be replicated by AI very easily. So that's where we're going. We're making a big opportunity. We're doing the installs for $5,000. We're doing the customizations of this for $10,000. And we're opening up a reseller white label program for $18,000 to be a certified reseller of Bonfire and white label it, put your logo on it, do whatever with it. Because where it's, I know a lot of salespeople, marketers, all this stuff, and a lot of these guys, they want to resell, they want to white label. People are trying to figure out what is that big thing, that service that I can sell to all businesses. And, I was overhearing some salespeople in the bar last week talking about this. They're all kind of, what is it? What is the word? Kind of like conspiring, they were like, where's the money? Where's, like, how are we going to make more money on these? I think they cold called business owners and they sold them services, right? It was like 3 or 4 guys that did cold calling, and I used to do that when I got started, 100 calls a day, right? That's the minimum. And so these guys, they're talking and they're saying, how, if we could just white label Chat GPT for businesses, we could just white label Chat GPT, it'll be great. We could sell it for a ton of money. We could sell it for $1,000 a month. We just teach them how to do it. And that's what I used to do. I used to sell SEO services. That was my first job. I sucked at sales. I sold SEO services for $1,000 to $15,000 a month to do SEO and backlink building and page building and all this stuff. And the cost of the service for $1,000 a month was like, it was like $80, So the cost of goods sold was, it's like 8%, which is normal for most service-based businesses. And, so you'd say, why would people pay $1,000 a month when they could just pay $80? Because people don't know. People don't know. But this, and that middle layer of people knowing or not knowing things, it's getting smaller. It's gotten, it generally gets smaller, right? People, but with this it has because the world, the tech companies are pushing AI through the browser. The browser is their way of harvesting the use cases. They've already known where things are going. They already knew that it's going to take over all the jobs, but they haven't been able to fully flesh it out yet. This is how it's going to be done. Browser, people building apps, all this stuff. It's Trojan horse. The real way is connecting through the terminal. And, not to take this back to God or whatever, but, there's a whole big revolution because people wanted to be able, the printing press and Protestantism and all this stuff it was a reaction to saying, hey, we want to go direct to the source. We want to read the Bible ourselves and learn what good morals are for ourselves rather than just rely on some dude that's standing up in front of the church or whatever to tell us what is good and what is, to tell us what God, or what Jesus, what was written in these old books, and whatever you guys believe, I think, you should read some of the old books, whether it's the Bhagavad Gita or the Quran or the Torah or the Bible or whatever it is, you should read old books because there's a reason those books are old and they keep being printed out because they contain very important information for society. And so the closer you are to interacting with AI, the closer you connect yourself to the computer, the more money you'll make. The closer you connect yourself to this tool, the more you'll be able to actualize and expand and allow yourself, because at the end of the day, I believe everything is just us actualizing ourselves. The first thing to actualize yourself is you must know yourself. And a lot of my audience, there's going to be a big shift, which is sad. There's going to be a lot of my audience that gets left behind in this transition to me focusing purely on AI. Because, a lot of my audience has relied on me to tell them the direction. Do this, do this, do this. But with AI, there's a level of you need to know what direction you're headed. The secret to happiness in the whatchamacallit, Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist, is walk through the world with your eyes open, but always keep that little piece of oil, that long-term goal of yours, in the spoon, in your hand, right? Walk through the world with eyes wide open, enjoy the painting, the nature, the male-female relationships, children, building a family, a legacy, all this stuff. But keep whatever your long-term goal in his mind. Now, I think it's very clear. It's building a legacy. It's having grandchildren, right? And having great-grandchildren. But I'd say the easiest goal is simply having grandchildren within your lifetime, right? And to those who have great-grandchildren in their lifetime, you're especially lucky, right? Your legacy will live on. You, a piece of you, the you-ness will survive throughout history, whether it's in stories, whether it's in genetics, whether it's in values. And, as an adopted kid, I'd say, sorry, I don't have comments open or anything, so I'm just going on kind of tangents here. But as an adopted kid, I was thinking, like, what did my parents, my parents didn't pass their genetics to me, but I've been with them since I've been born. But they passed down values to me, and my parents had very good values. I'm very thankful for that. Irish, Italian, kind of Catholic, hard work, honest, family first type of stuff. So that's it. Will there be an affiliate program for this? Yes, there is an affiliate program for this. The links are in the description. anybody who buys so people aren't just going to sign up and pay 5,000, they're not just, I don't think you can. I've seen the quality of people linking to my sites. Like, you know, I've trained people well on kind of copy paste, but this is a whole new field. So but promote AI Marketers Club. All of those leads, anybody who buys any of my low ticket products like AI Marketers Club, there's links. You can go to Digistore, sign up. There's links, all sorts of stuff. It's all in there, right? To promote it, right? I'd encourage you to sign up to get all the resources, and then there's already ads. We already have ads that are working for it and all that sort of stuff. My last ads I put up were doing pretty well, but and that's just what we're doing. But I'm really focused on pushing Bonfire Terminal more and looking into that. Any other questions? Is anybody still around? 10 people still here. Gonna have a cigarette. I stopped vaping because I had a root canal in this tooth, and it was because I've been rotting my teeth with all these vapes. The vapes, I guess they just kill the floral fauna. Cigarettes are better, so that's my I'm stopping vaping and slowly doing some cigarettes. But that's eventually I'll probably get rid of this too. But you don't see many people being able to smoke in their offices, because most of the people doing stuff online, they're renting. and I'm very thankful, right? I was able to make a ton of money very young. It's kind of crazy. I have a really cool house. I have a cool property. I have a cool ranch out here in Malibu. And I'd love to show it to you guys sometime. Just wasn't my focus to set all that equipment up today. But yeah, I'm very lucky to live the life I do. But my goal has always been to be next level successful. And I'm not talking living on top of Malibu successful. I'm talking about I'm going to give you all a prompt. I'm going to give you all a prompt that led me on a journey. Because I've been using AI to help me a little bit out with direction and all that stuff. And it's very insightful. It goes deep. I think it's much better than a therapist. I mean, that's another thing I think will. Okay, here is the prompt. I'm going to check this. So this was the prompt that I went through, and it was pretty interesting. But what insight it gave me, I've been reluctant to kind of talk so much, to show Bonfire Terminal, all this stuff, because I built it with AI, which is pretty cool. But I've been very dissatisfied with it. I'm my own worst critic, and I want it to look like iMessage. I want it to look like chat bubbles. I've done live installations with people, and they say they feel out of control when they see all the different things flickering around. They don't like that it looks like a terminal, like a programmer's terminal. They want it to look like a chat bubble or like a text message. And and you have to post that line of code in the beginning, and there's just a lot of things wonky about it. So I'd say for about the last month, I've been struggling with myself demoing it because I think it sucks, and I built it with AI. But this chat with my AI therapist helped me in the sense that it helped me reframe things and said, look, I'm not the builder here. I'm not a programmer. I'm a practitioner. I'm the practitioner. And I'm not the guru either. I don't got all the answers, but I'm the guy who does the stuff on the front lines well, and pushes the edge, and pushes the boundary, and explores fearlessly the digital edges. You know, and I've done so throughout my career, right? I was selling things on, you know, I launched my first Facebook ad in it's like 2010 or something. I bought crypto I bought Bitcoin when it was $20, you know, before you could store, you know, you could store it online, or you had to have like a hard wallet and all this stuff. What else have I done early? I'd say buying Bitcoin at $20 and making millions in affiliate marketing by the time I was, you know, by 2020, been early, because I've always viewed the computer as something to master. So I hope you guys master this. I hope somebody here, is anybody here gotten Claude Code yet? Anybody here gotten Claude Code or been convinced to get Claude Code from this, and at least try to work with the terminal because of this live stream? I'd love first people to get into it and start working with it the new way. Wolf Warrior, what documents, videos, etc. did you direct AI to review in order to? So I showed the prompts, Wolf Warrior. This is it. These were the prompts. I didn't give it further context than this. Okay. Now the prompt that got, you know, we got some, what is it? Let's see our Facebook ads. AI coding reviews. So we got one ad up, Claude Code review awareness. We'll put this. Oh, look at that. We got the two other ad campaigns up. I wasn't checking, but yeah, we worked through it. We didn't give it much additional context. I'd say the one main piece of context that worked well was this. Best web hosting, you know, so I gave it another page. The other piece of context that I gave one of them, let's actually do a full diagnostic review of which one did the best results. Okay. We have this prompt. Result. I like this page the most. I like this page a lot. Let's just say 4 out of 5. Best AI tools. Result. Yeah, this sucks. Four out of 5 includes, you know, this, well, result. I'll give this 2 out of 5, you know, no images. It just doesn't have images, right? If you don't have images, you just kind of suck. Let me make, and this is the detailed prompt. I told it is a programmatic SEO expert in this one. Result and launched ads. right? So we gave it very little thing here, but notice I am giving it my website. So AI knows enough to be able to actually search, to actually go into the website and look for all the various branding and stuff. So we gave it the website. This one, let's look at the last one, Claude Code review. Do we have images here? Yeah, we have images. Do we have logos? We don't have the logo. It's good. I'd say that was the expert inclusion prompt. Give it a 3.5 out of 5. And let's see the last one, which is, oh, I just didn't tell it to launch yet. Best AI coding assistants, top 5 compared. Doesn't have any images in it. Look at this. It's got updated. It's got some interesting things, but I think there's too much white space too, right? Doesn't even use the Bonfire Terminal logo. Look at that. It didn't even use the I mean, this just sucked. I'll give this 1 out of 5. Images are so important to people. You know, people don't want, you know, people are so brainwashed. You know, they don't want to read. You know, they want to, you know, they just don't want that. You know, it's marketing, you know. That's what people need to see. So I'll give that one 1 out of 5. So the best result we got was, which was it again? The copy prompt, right? And this is what I teach. I mean, this is what I've been teaching people for a while. You know, I've been teaching people copy paste affiliate marketing, meaning you want to build a swipe file first. You know, and that's the biggest thing. You need to have some sort of reference of what's already working. And I'd say just that, for people to understand, is like, you know, it's like the difference between you being able to do marketing and not being able to do marketing. You have to have some sort of reference based on what's actually working. And in this case, I gave it a reference that is advertising on Google for one of the most competitive, you know, big money keywords, web hosting, in a very similar space to AI. So I know they have the layout and the structure and the general kind of you know, model down for doing a comparison site or review site, right? At least better than what AI is going to think up on its own. So this performed the best, the copy prompt, right? Giving it, and it was because I said the page layout copywriting, because of this. It was because this line here had the whole, you know, had a big effect on just the end result. Did I include that in? I didn't include that line in the other prompts, you know, with prompting and all this stuff. But let's go through what else we may have done in this. And look at this, folks, 0% context remaining. That's a good project. So that's another reason why these 1-hour demos are pretty good, I think, because we have, I mean, look, we literally maxed out Claude Code in that time frame of launching a website and launching an app. So we maxed it out, and with one, and what we would do from here on is we would clear the context. Compacting it isn't compacting context, right? I could run compact if I wanted to keep reusing this window, but it doesn't really do it any good. It just, it creates confusion from what I found. It creates more problems. Yeah. What else do we do? We may have asked this particular window some questions. Set up a new Facebook. Let's see what else. Let's look at this. I keep saying I'm going to get off, but I really am sometime soon. But... So here's our conversation. You know what? I'm going to export all chat histories, and I'm going to do my own analysis of yeah. So Wolf Warrior, that's a good question. I'll look into what's actually yeah, I'll look into why that one conversation worked so much better, because I think that's a good kind of lens for analysis. Who else do we have here? Looking now, what documents, videos? Yeah, so giving AI, the more documents and videos and stuff you give AI, come on, let's get some reactions there. Let's get some love. But the more documents you feed it, you pre-prompt it with, right? I did very simple. I just gave it a link to my website. It'll make it more powerful. I have a lot of, you can get very complicated with this, but there's also a limit, because you can only have so much context at one time, or the AI can. You don't want to feed it too much information. You generally want to be, you want to keep it, the more focused your AI is, the better, which is why I've been building directories. I'll turn off MCPs, I'll turn off the connections to my community, to my, whatever, my CRM, my email service provider. I'll turn off a lot of the connections to the softwares I use when I'm specifically doing ads, because I only want, because sometimes that additional context of, QuickBooks, my accounting, right? It's not relevant to making the ad. It's not relevant for the ad. And that context, if anything, it will muddy the playing field when it's trying to write the ad, because it has all of these additional websites and tracking softwares. It's keeping in its context. So that's why that's why it's very important when we're doing these MCPs, right? We're working in a folder that is only really loaded with, oh, you can't see. That's only really loaded with what our bare minimum stuff is. And so, I'll turn things like that off, right? So I'll just disable, right? We don't need that for this project. Maybe Digistore, disable. We don't need it for this project. So but good question, right? And that's where the opportunity is for aides, for AI deployment engineers is what I'm calling them, is, let's bring this up here. Basically, what we're training people for as AI deployment engineers is to actually install AI into companies, and either as a white label or resell service. So, and that installation process of AI simply means you're configuring their files, you're creating a little file that is for setting up the FTP, or you're setting up the connections to their different software programs. That installation process, people are charging, the closest comparison is what they're doing with N8N and Zapier and Make integrations, which is 8K minimum, right? 8K minimum. You go into a company, you spend a couple hours, you spend 4 hours there, put you load AI onto their computer, right? You keep your AI, right? When you pay $18,000 to me, right? Cash, hand, I'll give you the software, right? Or you download it from the portal. You take the software, you put it on a USB drive. You go into a business you sold, and you show them how they can work with AI, or you install it. You charge them $8,000. You go into their business, you connect their point of sale service, you connect their ESP, CRM, their website, FTP, host, whatever. You connect all these things together, and you give that business owner a central command station that they can use to do just like what I did. Facebook ads in 5 minutes, a website in 30 minutes of answering questions. Business owners can do this too. Natural human, non-marketer, non-techie, right? Business owners that are spending $5,000 a month for, to pay a marketing agency to do ads, or that are paying $500 a month for some company to host their website, that are paying some guy to spend money on Yelp ads for them. Business owners have no clue, and they're not looking into this stuff, and most people hate technology. If you're still here, you're fine working with it, or you'll learn more. So where the big picture goes is it's going to be installing AI into the companies and charging them, even though all this information is Googleable, right? The money is that customer service of getting people, hand-holding them through things. And for that reason, I believe Bonfire Terminal, we'll continue developing the software and all that stuff. But we are selling software licenses now. We're not selling high-ticket education. And I believe this business model, the value, and it is being created, and all this stuff, good people that will introduce me to investors or all this stuff if I need to, if at the point. But what we're doing is we're focused on selling this. If you want to be along for the ride, start being an affiliate, start promoting our stuff. Any person who buys any of my products, right, that information, your affiliate ID is registered in the CRM that my salespeople look at. And when they call up the leads or they close any deals, they get installations for people, you get 20%. That's $1,000 on our 5K plan, $2,000 if they buy our 10K plan, and $3,600 if they buy our 18K certification plan. So there's going to be a lot of money here. There's going to be big money here, and a lot of the other high-ticket education stuff just is behind the times. It hasn't adapted. They don't know what they're doing. There's not an opportunity to sell those programs without also selling your soul. So that's it, folks. All the best. Great seeing you. I'll leave the replay up. If you're a clipper, if you want to be an affiliate, the easiest way to be an affiliate is going to be clipping some of these videos and posting things online. or clip. You can clip. Anybody can clip any of my content. All my content is full free rights. Do whatever you want. Just as long as you're, you know, being nice or promoting my programs. If you're using it to disparage, don't use those photos. I'll have one of my lawyers tell you to take it down. But if you're saying like, John Crestani's but I don't think anybody here is going to do that. I just got really tired of all those negative comments after my last course blew up. So yeah, see you folks. Bye. All the best. I'll try to do another live stream on Monday. See ya.